Welcome, farting reindeers, to Geek Salad's retro movie reviews from the Geek Salad podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And happy holidays! It's December,
Yeah.
which means that we are delving into some Christmas movies this year. I let Mike pick these, so we are going to be diving deep into the Santa Claus trilogy, starting with 1994's The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Yeah.
All right, gotta ask, first time you saw it?
I thought it was just like yesterday, but after watching it, I was like, no, I think I have seen this before. I just have no idea where.
Left an indelible mark on you, huh?
Sort of, maybe. I don't know.
The first time I saw this was at Suncoast, is kind of like just the in-store movie, and most of what I remember where my assistant manager Dan would just be like, he just every time there'd be a bad joke, he'd go, So that whole thing about it's okay, I lived through the 60s. And that's kind of how I feel about this entire movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this movie is bad or just unspectacular. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like the first two acts are like, all right, it's not great, but it's charming enough little family Santa Claus movie. And that third act, I'm like, okay, now it's just getting silly, stupid, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
That third act is just awful. It's just like, how Looney Tunes stupid can we get? And not in a Looney Tunes funny way.
Right, exactly. I really kind of feel like, well, first of all, I don't think this movie really knows what it wanted to accomplish. Primarily because usually when we get the setup for movies like this, you got the dad, the divorced dad, who's all about his career. And they even set it up like, he's kind of not the most attentive dad. You know what I mean? They set up where he's racing home. He's making excuses for why he's not there to get it, to do the custody trade-off with his ex-wife.
Right.
And that's where the deadbeatness of it ends.
Yeah, because once he picks up his son, he's trying. He's genuinely trying to connect with him and have a good time.
He tried to cook a full meal.
And that kid is a dick. That kid is a grade A dick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be. Show up the second the sun rises, not a moment later. I'm like,
I don't want to be with.
Right there, he can hear you.
Right, and not only that, but again, it seems like he's trying. It's this, this isn't like every movie that came out in the '90s about the dad that is more invested in their career than they are about their kids, and then something magical happens and they learn their lesson. Exactly. I feel like, between that and then the introduction of the ex-wife and her new husband, played by the hapless Judge Reinhold.
Yeah, that character he played in Gremlins has really kind of taken over his career, hasn't it?
That poor bastard. I mean, when your career highlight is the most paused moment in film history. To be fair, his dad took him to Denny's. I'm getting to that. I'll get to that in just a second. Thank you, Kurt. Welcome back. So first of all, Judge Reinhold is in. I just stated the most paused moment in film history when Phoebe Cates comes out of the pool in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you know exactly.
You're probably not old enough.
What I'm talking about, yeah. If you're not old enough, what the fuck are you doing watching this show? So then to go to that, to being, essentially the embodiment of how Hollywood just feels about mental health professionals. Is it me? Is it me or like psychologists? and psychiatrists, first of all, not treated like real doctors. They're
Mm.
treated as jokes.
Well, I mean, even Tim Allen's character, even every time, he's not a real doctor. He's a psychiatrist.
Stop that. Stop that. I mean, I know, 26 years later, that we are all well aware that mental health is a big thing. It is a medical thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, stop doing that. Just please stop. Because, he's bringing up stuff. And the way that they have him, talk about your feelings. Oh, no, stop that too. Stop that too. Your dialogue doesn't help. But the way that everybody is treating you and how essentially Scott Calvin can get treated as badly as the dentists are in film or well, I don't know. Between Dr. Giggles and Orange Chevello in Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, that's. I was just thinking of Little Shop of Horrors right there.
Yeah, but no, it was psychiatrists. In general, it's just even like you go back to the Lethal Weapon movies. The one who's just trying to get Riggs to say his feelings, and she is treated like a joke, and that is essentially how. I don't even remember the character's name at this point. I just call him Judge Reinhold because really it's a Judge Reinhold character.
Noel.
Lowell.
No, Noel.
Noel.
I believe so.
Okay. I'm not even going to bother to look it up. That's how little it means.
I've got it here.
Scott
Actually.
is allowed.
Neil.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because Neil is always the name of the person you pick on. Like the hero can pick on with no, they can just do it freely. And that's the thing is that even as Santa Claus, Scott is still able to make fun of Neil with no repercussions. It's okay to make fun of Neil. He's not a real doctor, even though he is.
Getting back to calls him Dr. Neil.
Neil. He earned a PhD for God's sakes. That's not easy to do. But getting back to Kurt's point about Denny's. So first of all, we had the standard. It's got to be the mid-90s because they're making an Asian joke when talking about American culture. Nothing more American than Denny's. Cut to Japanese businessmen, and then the sad dads in the back room. And we've all. I don't know. It's been a couple of years since I've been to our local Denny's, Mike. I don't know if they've got the back room or if that back room is closer to the front.
Yeah. They kind of have like a back wing.
Okay.
A left side and a right side that's kind of like set in the back.
I kind of feel like at some point we need to do a Denny's run. Just like the Geek Salad team just needs to go to Denny's. Oh, come on. That's what I used to do after shows.
I used to go there with my mom every Saturday.
Oh, okay. Go there late at night.
It's not bad.
The only time I can drink coffee, at night. But
Joe will be having a moose over my hammy.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's a gym thing.
Oh, okay.
But last time I was at Denny's, there was a ton of Asian business people. Honestly, I think the last time I went to a Denny's was my last kind of like corporate meal out before COVID hit because I was in Syracuse and that's where I stopped for breakfast before I drove home. So, oops. But yeah, no, just in that area with all the sad dads, we're all essentially they're all dressed the same, and it's just like single men can't cook.
We're in the turkey, right? Yep. Okay, we get it.
I understand it's pre-internet.
Yeah.
And now, if I want to learn, I can look in advance a few days, almost like a cookbook existed in 1994, and figure out. It takes a few hours to cook a turkey.
A cookbook? What's that?
Well, I don't use cookbooks anymore. I just go online, type in what I want, and save it in my Google collections.
Yeah,
I've amassed quite the recipes. But anyway, it's just like that's how we get started with this. That we are first, told he's just going to be like every dad in every 90s movie ever. And then he just turns out to be more attentive to his son. But, it's just, it's tough to really get a beat on this movie when there is virtually no stakes. There is no growing point for Scott Calvin. There's an accepting point.
Yeah.
He doesn't really change. He's still the same person from start to end. He doesn't love his son any more or any less. But the only conflict he needs to go through this entire movie is just, I have to accept that there's nothing I can do to reverse this. I put on the suit after Santa Claus farted, and then I saw the worst looking reindeer. And actually, no, I'm going to restate that. I will rephrase that for next week, because I already jumped ahead and watched next week's movie. And the reindeer somehow look worse.
I mean, for 90s, like, kind of animatronic, the Comet one wasn't bad, just in the close-ups. When we were doing the wide shot, where it was obviously the CG, it was 90s CG, and it wasn't even good 90s CG.
Oh, there was so much chroma key, so much matte work, like matte lines.
I mean, when he like shrunk to get fit into the chimney, I'm like,
that was painful. The whole concept is, I guess it could kind of be cool, but they wasted too much time on antics. Like, a little too much time on the antics. I mean, I understand it's a family comedy, but it's like, okay, maybe show two houses and that's it. Cut. Now you're in the North Pole, where.
Can I say that the whole concept of Santa Claus, where you've got the line that you can't read except with a massive magnifying glass, telling you that, oh, you put on the clothes, well, now all of your previous identity is bupkis. You have no choice. You have to be Santa Claus. That's kind of a really pissy thing, isn't it?
I would agree with that. I think that I mean, at least, Agent J had a choice in Men in Black.
Yeah.
But
it's like, sorry, you read the card and you saw that you have to put on the suit. You didn't read the fine print, so fuck you.
Do you accept?
You have no choice. You've already accepted.
Yes. Now you must live in servitude to us and eat nothing but cookies.
And, well, at least it fixes a lactose intolerance, though.
It did fix his lactose intolerance, so I guess being Santa Claus is a good thing. When you sent me the text as you were watching it about what was it about the ladder?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
the rose.
The rose Sakar ladder.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. Oh wait, I'm on the group chat there. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rose, it's like Sakar ladder.
Yeah, the rose such a ladder, because it's tough. This is the kind of movie that I think you put it the best, that I don't know if you love this movie or you loved this movie.
Yeah. Everyone that claims, oh, I love this movie, what they actually mean is I loved this movie when I saw it when I was 5.
I have great memories watching this movie when I was a child in 1994.
I haven't watched it since then, because if you have watched it since then, you're like, why do I love this movie? What is it about this movie that I love?
Right.
Not, like I said, that third act, when they bring in a flying black ops elf group, I'm sorry, I'm checked out. That whole, I mean, no.
Just an excuse to sell toys, Mike.
You have crossed a massive
sell toys. It's tough. The one thing I really want to say about this movie is that this movie really illustrated to me that outside of his work as Buzz Lightyear, Tim Allen just does not elevate the game of any movie he is in. And I'm going back to Galaxy Quest, which I love. Galaxy Quest. He is the weakest link in that movie, because he's.
I'll switch it and say that he's not the weakest link of every movie he's in. He's the weakest link of every thing he's in. Because he's been in several TV shows where he is not the best character.
Right.
Home Improvement. He is the worst part of that show.
Yeah. With him, it's more the personality, which, I'm so glad that they shoehorned in one of those weird.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I killed Wilson. Well, back to jail for me. It's just like, I personally never found him appealing.
Outside Buzz Lightyear.
It's hard to kind of reconcile him as being like movie Santa. Because he doesn't do the Santa-like things. I mean, you want to go back to, like, I talk so much shit about the 1985 Santa Claus, the movie. But let's be honest. He was an amazing Santa Claus.
It has been so long since I've seen that one.
On Peacock.
Yeah, I don't really use Peacock all that much.
Yeah, I don't either. But it's I can do it because it's ad supported, so
yeah,
whatever. But I got but even the reindeer, you brought up like the reindeer. The reindeer in Santa Claus, the movie, are better than the ones in the Santa Claus.
The reindeer in Santa Claus, the Mexican kids movie, are better than the reindeer in this one.
Those things are pure nightmare fuel.
Yeah, they're wind up. Seriously, go watch that movie. It is.
Oh yeah. There are so many better Santa Claus movies that aren't
version.
the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Legitimately, it's all right. A couple things I gotta get off my chest about this movie. You had mentioned the boardroom scene where they're talking about, like, they're doing the thing that you would expect the guy who is now no longer the corporate mindset to be in on, with, like, Santa rolls in on a tank. Oh, Santa doesn't roll on a tank. He flies on a sleigh. Ho, ho, ho. Everyone's eating healthy. I'm going to eat milk and cookies and desserts.
That scene was painful to watch.
Not only, the weird thing about it was not only painful to watch, that point right there, without any mention of maybe you need some time off, Scott, is the last time you see any person he works with, unless I missed something, because I'll be honest, I started to drift after a while. There is no mention of this business after that point.
Yeah. I mean, I would have liked to see more of Peter Boyle, because he deserves so much better than this.
Yeah, he does. It doesn't get any better. It's just...
Yeah.
But he's not even that good in this, because he's barely there. He's just there to react to Scott's, fat jokes, and... Which...
There were. I genuinely, I would have loved to have seen someone like, you know what? He's actually kind of right. Just kind of, he's freaking Santa now, and maybe they should go. No, we want him in the tank because we're trying to sell the tank. So what are they saying about corporate America? That they're all shills and jackasses?
Yeah, well, that's the whole point, and it's ironic coming from the Walt Disney Company.
I mean, fair. That's fair.
Yeah. As you wear your Disney Plus hat.
Yes.
And my walls are strewn with Disney property. Yeah, it's including my Mickey Mouse puzzle here and on the wall.
Nice.
But it's just, I don't feel like this movie ever knew what it wanted to be, because it's going in all different directions. And because I looked up John Pasquin, the director's filmography, he's a Tim Allen guy.
Oh.
Did he do Old Dogs? What's that?
Did he do Old Dogs?
No, I don't think he did Old Dogs. I can double check that. But he's one of those guys that did so many Tim Allen movies. He's probably just like Tim Allen's personal director.
Yeah.
And that pretty much whatever Tim says we're gonna do on this.
Yeah.
The third act. Okay, you had mentioned the silliness in the third act, especially when they bring in the Elf Patrol.
Yeah.
I want to point out something that may even be sillier.
The ZZ Top?
Huh? Yeah, so they bring
ZZ Top
Santa back. He's stolen his child, by the way. So now he's broken the law. Don't let that out there. He broke the law. And so his child elves tell him, we made a new suit for you that's the flame retardant and all that stuff. He puts it on, puts on his new clothes, and does the slow-mo with that weird dance thing that they all do for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, they're just like doing the epic walk down the hall, and then they suddenly.
And then they just continue with it in his new clothes, walking to that classic ZZ Top hit, "Sharp Dressed Man." I'm sorry, "Give Me All Your Lovin'."
Yeah,
it was a gimme. It was a gimme. And now, first of all, why did you pick "Give Me All Your Lovin'" to begin with, or a ZZ Top song to begin with?
The beard.
That's a stretch.
It's the only one I can think of.
All right. Okay, I'll give you that. But even still, it's like it's sitting right there. You gave him new clothes. "Sharp Dressed Man" works a lot better. And it sounds almost exactly like "Give Me All Your Lovin'," because let's be honest, 80s ZZ Top, all their songs sounded alike. Rest in peace, Dusty.
And can we also say that somehow when they brought him back to the North Pole, his 8-year-old son is now advising the technical advisor to the elf who's been doing this for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, we would have never thought of it if it wasn't for your 8-year-old son, because
that's great.
I don't have 50,000 times more experience than him.
The other thing that drives me nuts about this movie too, and again, this is just a thing I dislike about movies in general, is where there is a plot point about, if you don't straighten up, I'm taking the kid away from you.
Yeah.
And I think it the bigger issue I have is that because this is a family movie, it's a family picture. You could do this in more of a drama or something like that, but Scott, if our son doesn't stop believing in Santa Claus, then you can't see him anymore.
You're dressing like Santa so that he'll love you more, because he obviously fucking hated you at the beginning of the movie. Oh, we can't have him love you more. No, sorry, you can't see him anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
We want him to hate you, so now you can't see him.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't need to spend more time with my new husband, right?
He's Judge Reinhold. Come on, no one wants to spend more time with Judge Reinhold.
Poor Judge
Reinhold wants to spend more time with Judge Reinhold.
Poor bastard. I mean,
I want to like him. I really do. I really want to like him. But he's always the same character. He's always a smarmy bastard in every movie he's in.
Well, and that's the issue. Again, that's the Gremlins thing that happened. Yeah. And almost all of that does go back to Fast Times, but he becomes a hapless bastard at the end, by the middle of that movie.
Mm.
But he's actually one of the few likable characters in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Besides Sean Penn.
Oh, God, not Sean Penn. No. No. And then at the end of this movie, you've got all the shenanigans with the elf squad. It's the thing about it is, I understand wanting to use children because they're small, except for David Krumholtz. Put a pin in that. I'll come back to David Krumholtz in a second. Okay. But you can't help but think that they are children, because they are children.
Oh, dude, when that head elf super commando started going on, I was like, "Don't worry, we've done this." I'm like, "Shut the hell up! You're 5."
How many? Yeah, seriously, how many fruit roll-ups, cereal, and boxed juice ads has this kid been in? And it was the 90s, so probably all of them.
Mm.
They found the one 11-year-old whose voice hasn't changed yet to play him, and then. But you got the silliness with that. You get the silliness where they go to the police station, and it's just like, hey, can you just fuck with this cop for 20 minutes, and we'll just make the film go fast.
And then tinsel, of course.
Why not? I know how it could probably tear through a cat's intestinal system or a dog's intestinal system. So yeah, sure, it can also cut bars of steel.
Yeah.
And then the end of the movie where they discuss, they pretty much are showing Santa Claus exists.
Oh yeah, we got a whole crowd of people that's like, wow, I see Santa. He must really exist.
Yes. Until the next movie, which 8 years is a long time, I mean, as much as I love the Star Wars sequel movies, it doesn't seem like there was enough time to go by where it's like, really, did Luke Skywalker truly exist 30 years ago?
Yeah.
But I do want to get back to David Krumholtz real quick.
Okay.
What is the point of Bernard, other than having a functioning adult who doesn't even really look like a child, get to be the head elf?
Yeah.
It's a weird thing, especially because a year before, he was at summer camp, playing cutesy and smooching Wednesday Addams and Addams Family Values.
Wow, he looked so much younger in that one. I wonder if that one was like, this one was like, no, it doesn't work that way.
These weren't movies that got delays either, so it's not like,
no,
he was probably doing one right after the other.
Wow. 93, 94. Good year, and then, you know what? He was incredibly unlikable in this movie. But I suppose out of all the unlikable people in this movie, he was kind of like the one that, like, he's unlikable, but he's kind of a charming unlikable.
The weird thing about him in this movie, though, is that realistically, it's almost like they wanted to make you. All right, Bernard was an important role of Cap. Yes, yeah, he was Captain Exposition. Let me explain to you the irreversible mess that you've gotten yourself into unwittingly and can never escape. And I will wait 8 years before I tell you about the next stage of your torture.
Yeah.
So he was 16 years old when the Santa Claus came out. So he was about 15, 16.
So he's probably 15 when he filmed it.
May 15th, 1978. He's your age.
He is literally 6 days older than me.
Yeah.
6 days younger than me.
Yeah. Wow. He is your age.
Which means, wow, I could have been Bernard.
Could have been.
I can play a douchey guy.
What I found interesting about their choice of how to dress him, it was almost like, and Kevin just mentioned this, he's like Captain Exposition, but he's like the old Jewish sage of the movie who's got to tell you the wisdom of the things. Because if you look at Bernard, the way they dressed in costume Bernard versus how they dressed the children, they literally, the way his hair was done, his hat, his his jewelry and stuff like that. I'm like,
Actually, I the Monty Python sketch where they're on the Titanic and they're trying to escape, and they're all dressed as different people to try and snake their way. Eric Idle as the Flemish painter. That's Bernard. That's Bernard's costume right there. He's dressed as a Flemish painter.
It was a weird pick, especially now knowing that he was 14 years old when he made this movie. It's like, wow, because he really is just kind of I know he's one of those adults that didn't get any taller, and just you can tell he's an adult because he's got facial hair now.
Yeah.
But the dog. Let's sum up. Like I said, I've already jumped ahead.
Yeah.
And I really have a bad feeling this is the high water mark.
I don't know. The thing about that that's given me a slightest sliver of hope for the third movie is the fact that it's got Martin Short in it.
Yeah.
And while Tim Allen may be a drag on it, Martin Short is a boost. I always love Martin Short.
I love Martin Short, and I'm really hoping that saves it.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's hard to say whether or not this is a bad movie or just an unspectacular movie that got stuck in the, it was a big hit when it came out. In fact, I saw that trivia piece on IMDb that the week this movie came out, Tim Allen had the #1 movie in the country, the #1 TV show in the country, and the best-selling book in the country, all in the same week.
Wrote that.
Yeah, don't forget, most stand-up comedians' books are nothing more than their stand-up act, just written on,
Yeah.
Especially back then. There was a treasure trove of people that would do that back then.
Oh, yeah.
And we can go far as back as when Dennis Miller used to be funny. And, I went there.
The time before times.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a movie that I feel was kind of like, it had its moment. It had that year after video release, which is when I first saw it working at Suncoast, because that's what they do. They wait a year before they release the Christmas movies on video, which I think makes perfect business sense.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of like it started to fade off, and then the Disney Channel started doing like their 24 Days of Christmas or 25 Days of Christmas. And it's like, well, what do we have? Well, we own this movie.
Yeah. And, because 96 was Toy Story, right?
96 was Toy Story, yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of kept Tim Allen in the zeitgeist, I guess.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that, Kevin. Tim Allen was the Chevy Chase of the 90s. Yeah, also equally difficult to work with, and on a personal level, probably not the kind of guy you want to get into a conversation with. I'll buy that. I'll buy that. Yeah. I just thank God I only have one left. I pity you because you've got two.
Yeah. And I've got to find some time in the next half week to watch it too.
I don't know. We might actually have to do a delay next week unless anybody else wants to join me, and you could sit that one out because you're going to be away.
Yeah. Well, unless you don't mind doing a much later video.
Well, that might be. It's just all the things going. It's the Christmas season, so my evenings are now at a premium because my kids actually do stuff now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see exactly what my free time is going to be like out there.
Yeah, that makes sense. If we have to skip a week, or maybe I might just maybe we skip that week for the Santa Claus, and I do a fourth movie. I just throw the fourth movie in next week so you can enjoy your trip, and I can. I have an idea for something.
I hope it's not what we were also thinking about for another week, because I really do want to do that one with you.
The one that premiered on Disney Plus.
Nope.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking something completely different. Then I'll tell you after we're done.
Okay.
Well, I think I've had enough talk
mysterious
about this.
that.
What's that?
Now that we've been all mysterious.
Yeah. So that was the Santa Claus. We want to know, what were your thoughts on this movie? Are you one of those people that loves it, or as Mike put it, did you love it?
And have you seen
this movie? And then it's like, take the nostalgia goggles off and go, oh,
give me all your loving.
All your hugs and kisses too. So yeah, that was the Santa Claus. Let us know in the comments below. Leave a polite comment what you thought about the Santa Claus. If you like what you saw here, we are here. Baby, we're here every week. Just give us a thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button so you get all of our weekly content, as well as the podcast that Mike and I host, Geek Salad, which you can also get wherever you get your podcast from. If you want to follow my thoughts and feelings on pretty much everything, just follow us on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio and on Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast. And hey, it's the holiday season. Yeah. So whoop-de-doo and go to TeePublic, use the keyword Geek Salad Podcast, and find our merch. You can put our Funko Wise faces pretty much on anything. And iPhone cases. So you can check that out there. So I think we're doing anything. So thank you, live audience, for watching. Thank you for watching if you're watching the replay. Check out our other videos on this channel. So if you've got anything else, we've probably covered it already. We're almost done with every movie made by Pixar. So we've got that. I even made a playlist for that, by the way. So if you want to go back, I did that. So we are caught up until we get to Toy Story 4, which will be in January.
Yep.
Another Tim Allen movie. Oh, what I did. Was there no coal? Was there no coal at all? I got to deal with Tim Allen for 4 weeks this month.
PNC.
Huh?
PNC. Present or coal.
So, all right. Well, anyway.
I'm ashamed to remember that.
So, anyway, until next time, I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
Go forth, be nerdful, happy holidays, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.